How's everybody doing? Today we're just going to go over some basic Windows optimizations for performance so you can get the most out of your gaming experience or just your PC in general. The first kind of thing we're going to do is just general cleanup, making sure your files are easily accessible, and we're going to start down here. I have Windows 11, so this might look a little different for Windows 10. Either way, you'll be able to get to the same areas. Okay, so first we're going to do disk cleanup. You're going to go to your search or start menu and search for disk, D-I-S-K. You'll see disk cleanup. You're going to want to select the drive that Windows is on. I have a separate hard drive for my games, and then it's usually the C drive. Now you can clean these up here. These are your basic files that are, not needed, temporary files, thumbnails. These really don't take up too much space. You could clean these up by hitting OK. But really you want to click the cleanup system files. You're going to want to select the C drive again, and then when this loads you will see this right here. This is where you'll have old Windows upgrade files and stuff like that. I did this recently, so I don't have much space, 85.7 megabytes to clean up, but you might see 6, 7, 10 gigabytes here if you haven't done this in a while. So you can click OK here, and that should free up some space. After that, you want to go to the search and do defrag and optimize drives. It's going to look like this little colored blocks icon right here. This has been around a long time with Windows, and it used to take forever with the spinning hard disk drives. If you have a solid state drive, it's called trimming or optimizing, and it might say needs optimization here. It's pretty quick. You click optimize on each one, and you could do that every month or two. I turn off the scheduled optimization because I don't want this to automatically run while I'm playing games. I don't know if Windows would allow that, but I do it on my own. So that's the second thing you can do. After you're done, you can close that. Next thing we're going to do is search for registry errors. You're going to go down to search. You're going to do command, and you'll see command prompt. You can either right click this or over here click run as administrator, or I'm going to right click that, run as administrator. You'll hit yes. This old kind of DOS looking window will come up, and then you're going to want to type SFC space / scan now, all one word like that. Click enter. As you'll see here, it'll start running. This might take a while depending on how many drives you have, how big your registry is, things like that, the speed of your hard drive and speed of your computer. But this here is nice. It'll actually recognize corrupt files, and it will repair them for the most part. I did this earlier recording, which I had to delete, but this here usually will find like log errors with the drivers. Sometimes my network drivers will have corruption. I have no issues with my internet, but for some reason it'll find errors with those. So as you can see, mine's going pretty quick. It's almost done. It's over 90% now, and all good and clear. It'll say Windows Resource Protection did not find any integrity violations. So that's pretty much that. If there was errors, it'll tell you what it found and that it repaired them. So we can X out of that now. Next thing we're going to want to check is general Windows updates. Okay, so you're going to go to start. You're going to go to your settings, Windows update right here. There's different ways to get to this. You can get to it over on the left side too. Check for updates. So this will run. It'll check for updates. You want to make sure your Windows is the most up to date. If it says you're up to date, always check this setting right here, advanced options, and right here, optional updates. You might see some in here. Sometimes the .NET frameworks and some of the cumulative Windows updates go into this section. So even driver updates, some Intel, chipset drivers, device drivers for the network adapter, things like that might show up in this optional updates area. So make sure you get those all up to date, okay? After Windows Update, we're going to focus on some more specific things like power plan. So you're going to go to search, search power, and then you're going to go to choose power plan. Now in here, you might have different options. It depends on the computer. You can also create your own power plan in some instances. Right here, create power plan. I have mine on ultimate performance. So yours might come default as balanced. If you have a high-end gaming PC and you got a desktop, you want to make sure this is on ultimate performance. If you have a laptop, you can tinker with this, especially if you're running on battery, but most of the time if you're gaming on a laptop, you're going to be plugged in anyway. So give yourself ultimate performance unless you have overheating issues with your laptop. So this is a good way to get some boost out of your computer, okay? Next thing we're going to do is disable a couple things. One of them is core isolation. You're going to search core isolation, click that, and then you're going to turn this off right here. This can boost frames per second up to 10 frames for certain people. You might not have this option available, or you might go to turn it off and it might say you're not able to. I think with Intel 12th gen and higher, you will have this option. So if you search core isolation and it's not an option for you, don't worry about it. But if you do have it, make sure this is turned off. Next thing is game mode. So there's the game bar, game mode settings. I have game mode off, okay? So if you have an older PC with a maybe 1600 NVIDIA card or something, 5, 6, 7 years old that you're still trying to squeak some performance out of, game mode might be able to help you. I actually found that game mode decreased my performance, and it also caused some issues while streaming with OBS. So I turned mine off and it helped a lot. But you can tinker with this. It might be different for you. It might be different if you're using Windows games, like if you play games right out of the Windows Store, things like that. But you can kind of experiment with this one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, high precision, so last one we're going to do is search for your device manager. In device manager, you'll have all of these drop downs, and here you're going to want to go to system devices right here, drop that menu down, go to H. So right here you'll see high precision event timer. You'll see mine has a little down arrow on. I disabled that, so you're going to right click, and right about here you'll see disabled device. You're going to want to disable this device. That can increase performance and frames per second for gaming. So that's another good one to do there. Other than that, make sure your graphic drivers are up to date. I have AMD, so in my AMD Adrenalin, go to home, make sure these are all up to date. I have the most current version, 24.8.1. And yeah, those are just some basic Windows maintenance and Windows settings that you can do to increase your performance and your FPS while gaming. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want any other tutorials. Comment and like, subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you.